What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of All the Mod 7. Now, on our last episode, we actually got our automated stuff for Powah going. It was very simple. We had a bunch of materials. It was very easy to set up. Today, we're actually going to take it a little bit further and start setting up some Powah reactors. We're going to set up some Powah reactors. I'm just going to do baby talk for the rest of this video. A little fun fact about me. Back when I was in like 1st or 2nd grade, I couldn't say my R's. I had a speech impediment growing up, and I had to take speech therapy or whatever it's called to be able to say my R's properly. And let me just go ahead and tell you, it was actually very difficult, and I would say hard, but there's no R in difficult. So now that bad joke is over with, guys, thank you so much for all the support and everything that you've been doing. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button as we jump right back into Powah. Now, last time we left off, all we did was we set up this automated energizing orb, and I had some stuff going because I wanted to get some more materials, and I want to make sure that I keep these things going. I'm going to run through all of my supply at this point. Like I said, today we're actually going to get started and working on the reactors and just trying to test out what really makes a ton of power here with the Powah mod. So there's a couple of things that I want to take a look at. We'll upgrade these all a little bit later. So let me get rid of all of these. So I do actually want to get started with the reactors. That's where we'll start. So I'm going to go ahead and grab all of these recipes right here by just hitting A, just to take a look at them to see what we could do. The reactors are very simple things, they're very simple. Okay, there's nothing special about these things. They take some of the uraninite to get the starter stuff. You need the basic capacitors, you need all the basic stuff, but you need 36 of each block to make it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make these starter blocks. We're going to go ahead and make 36 of these, and let me show you. Now, I could be completely wrong that it takes 36, but let's just hope I'm right here, and I ain't just said this twice in a different episode. So when you right click to place this, it auto builds. And it did take 36 exactly. Once you place one of these down, it auto builds it. It looks like a 3x4 is what it is. And once it's done, it will automatically fulfill that multi-block structure. And we can right click here and we can take a look at this UI. Now the UI is actually kind of complicated. It looks a little crazy, right? We have our uraninite here, which is our power and stuff. You have our carbon, so this will take like coal and stuff like that. We have redstone, which is literally just redstone. It doesn't get any more simple than that. And then you have a coolant on this right side here. You can use something called dry ice as a coolant. You can also just use packed ice, blue ice in general, and it will give you a coolant for this right side. I believe just normal ice will do it, but the dry ice, I believe, is like the best. We can always double check if we make this manual right here, which I'm going to do. And it looks like they actually upgraded this. This is kind of cool. So if we go in here to the reactor right here, we have the reactor starter. It shows all of this info, and it tells you how to build it. You need 36 reactor blocks. Man, I was right. I'm pretty happy about that. When generating energy, the reactor heats up, causing it to consume fuel faster and generating less Fe per tick. So you need to cool it down using a coolant like water. Also, you can use a solid coolant like snow or ice for extra coldness. Solid coolant requires liquid coolant to work. So we will need some water in here as well to make sure that that solid coolant works. Keep the reactor buffer full of fuel for better production. Carbon materials like coal wood will improve the fuel efficiency and will add 180 degrees Celsius of heat. Redstone will speed up the production and the fuel consumption and will add 120 degrees Celsius of heat. The reactor will stop when it is full and start when it has less than 70% of the energy if it is on auto mode. That's kind of cool. And then it shows you the recipe and you can kind of just click through and see things. So it just tells you the basics of this. This is pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and do all the basics here. I'm going to go ahead and move the reactor so it's actually like closer over here so that I can tap into my network right here. Just for display purposes right now. This right here is already tapped into my network, and I can just pipe out an exporter, which I actually do believe I have. And that way I can tell it what exactly to put in here, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and try and set this up a little bit. So I know I'm going to need my pipe wrench, and I know I'm going to need a couple of pipes here. We're going to need some fluid pipes. I think we have enough energy pipes here. And what I'm going to do is first, I'm going to take this cable here and I'm not exactly sure which sides do what, but I'm going to go ahead and do an exporter right here, because I believe that's what this is for. So if we do an exporter right here, And then we tell it we want to give it some redstone. Let's give it some uraninite. Let's give it some coal. And then we'll put some water in it for the time being. So we'll have a sink to do exactly that. We'll just take and do a water pipe here, a fluid pipe, and see if that goes straight in there like this. Does it? Oh, yep, sweet. And then just in case, I'm going to put this advanced pipe in here so that way it makes sure it keeps full. And then now we can go in here and put these 3 in here like this. And does that actually fuel it like that? It does. It's starting to fill it up and pull it all in there. And we're going to need some speed upgrades for this exporter. So it is constantly filling up, is putting that uraninite in there. And now we see that we have no solid coolant in here, but we need the water coolant anyway. We could cool this down a little bit more. So right now it is generating about 150, and it looks like it's cooling down about 100 FE per tick. Goes, shoots back up, goes back down. As it fills up and stays full, this will be a little bit different, and it will eat through our redstone. It'll eat through our coal and everything. So we got to make sure that we get as much of that as possible before it goes. Now I do need to make me a plug real quick to shove on here, so let me do that real fast. And this plug is basically just going to be attached to the front right here, and then we can set up to our network so that way it can start pushing some power in here. Now I know I literally just set all this up, but I'm going to break all of these here in a second. So this is kind of what it would look like if you're going to try and automate this. I'd probably put the sink in the back so it isn't too cluttered or whatever, but this, you can right click any part of this, and now we have it producing 100 FE or 150 FE per tick. It's pushing out and only extracts 100 or 1K FE per tick. This is your starter one. This is the very, very basic one. Like I said, you can upgrade these, and that's what I'm actually going to do. So let me break these and check this out. If I just break this block straight out right here, it's going to break all of it and shove everything in my inventory. And I can just shove all these back in there. And now that I have these 2 over here ready to go, let's go ahead and see if we can upgrade these. So to upgrade these, like I said, it takes 36, right? So if this is the recipe, you can hit U on it and you can take a look at each one as it goes up. So next up, we're going to need the large capacitors just to make the basic ones. And I'm not sure if we have enough for all of those, but I'm just going to throw these in here and see. We do. We have exactly enough to make the basic one, but let's keep going. So now we're going to make the hardened ones. We don't have these energized capacitors here. So let's think about this if we're going to make this. To make these hardened capacitors, we need 4 of each, and we're going to need a total of 2 of these basic capacitors per. And let's go ahead and upgrade this. So we're going to need 72 of these total. So let's see how many we can make. 12. Yeah, we're going to make more than 12, most definitely. Or we're not. We're going to make 14 because we need more of these big capacitors here. So I overmade these, but that's 72 right there, right? I'm doing math right? I can count, I promise. And let's put these in here and see if we can make all of these. We got to put the basic ones in here and see what we got. Oh God, thank God I made enough of those. Okay, so now we're up to the hardened version, and the hardened version has 2.5K FE per tick. So let's go ahead and upgrade that to the blazing one. All right, 36 of those. Now we're up to blazing. Now see, this is what happens when you start Powah later into the game. You start making these really cool ones. Now we've got to get up to diamond. It gets harder and harder as we go, but I do believe I have enough of everything. And now for the next one, we need this is where it starts to get serious, because now you need the niotic capacitors, which need the crystals and everything. I think everything uses the capacitors in the middle. So having a bunch of these probably really just helps in general, and that takes the paste, the redstone, and all that good stuff. You're going to need a lot of redstone apparently, so I'm going to make a couple more. And there we go. Now we're up to diamond, which the generation factor on this one is 25K FE per tick. But we're not stopping there, because next up we have the emerald stuff. We got plenty of the emerald stuff. So let's see. Same thing here. Spirited capacitor. We need the basic capacitors in the middle here. All right. And now that we have enough of these, we're going to upgrade again. Now we're up to the emerald level, which is already double what I just made with that reactor, that upgraded reactor. This stores 100 million FE. It extracts 400,000 FE per tick, and it creates 100,000 FE per tick. And now we get to the nitro, which these are the nitro crystals, and it just keeps going. And apparently you need the reactor nitro to make a creative capacitor for the backpack. So that's kind of important to note. And these bad boys, these are going to be fun because you need the nitro capacitors. It's all the same recipe except for the nitro crystals. And I think we have enough of these, but we might need some more nitro crystals to make it. And now we're out of nitro crystals. So we're going to have to get some more nitro crystals going. You know, this whole time my math was like super off, because you need a spirited capacitor, or you need a capacitor in general, just one, per reactor. So I've been making double of all of these capacitors, right? I've got to been making, yeah, look, I've been making double of all of these capacitors. It doesn't hurt because we're going to use all these extra ones later, but like, you see what I'm saying? Like that's bad at math. Okay, I'm bad at math. So basically we just need 32 of these nitro capacitors. That's pretty much all we need. Or 36 rather. We just need 36. So we need 20 more. Look, I'm doing math, I promise. I'm getting there. We're slowly getting there. Oh, I messed up. These nitro crystals take a lot to make. Do. Is it against TOS or like YouTube to do the jingle like with my voice? Because like, what if my video gets flagged because I did the jingle for like 2 seconds, man? That'd be a little messed up, wouldn't it? That'd be messed up. I ain't about that life, bro. Don't hurt me, YouTube. I ain't trying to hurt you, okay? I'm just working here, okay? I'm just making some YouTube videos, not trying to do anything serious, just trying to have some fun. I guess in the meantime, we probably could make us some more sand, right? But let's go back home and let's go ahead and make ourselves another one of those crafters, and I'm gonna see if I can do something with it. So refined storage, we're gonna grab another crafter. Now you could upgrade these crafters. Like these crafters, I believe, can be upgraded. So we have red crafter. You can even, I mean, you can change their colors, iron crafter, and it keeps going and everything. And that's kind of cool. So let's go ahead and just make us another one of them. I'm just going to place it like right here. I don't know if it like needs something specific or whatever, but now we can make some more recipes like if we want to call upon it. So like, let's say I wanted to make a block of redstone, right? All right, let's do the dirt here. So let's make the dirt here. So if we go over here and we look up sand rather, we look this up and I can spell properly. We can take this recipe right here. So let's go ahead and grab that recipe and then come over here to our pattern and then we'll make it here. So right, and we go ahead and put this pattern in here. And then I can throw into my crafter right here, I can throw this input. And then now I should be able to just go back. So if I hit sand, right, this is all the sand that I have. I think it's Control-Shift-Click. Yeah, Control-Shift-Click will make it where you can just request the crafting. So let's make a bunch of them. See, it shows what it needs. And then we click it and then our sand should be going up. It should be going to this crafter over here and it's just making it. The thing is like you can actually say, hey, there's a lot like more advanced things that I know you can do. Like you could say, hey, I want to have like 1,000 sand and I never want to go lower than that. Wonder what it takes to make an iron crafter, right? That was the next upgrade. An iron crafter takes 2 improved processors, a crafter block. Oh, this is all easy to stuff to make actually. I actually have all of it. So I'm going to go grab that out and break this real quick. Put the iron crafter down, shove the sand recipe back in there. Oh, the iron crafter makes more recipes. I wonder if it's faster because that's kind of important. We should put that down there instead of up here, but I wonder how much faster it is. I don't think it makes it faster. I guess you got to put the speed upgrades in the side to make it faster. You know what I just realized? If this wasn't done, it just screwed everything up, which I think it was done. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it was done. We're good. Okay, we're good. Okay, and now we have enough to make ourselves the reactor nitros. If I put all that in there, it should be enough. Bam. Now we have a nitro reactor. So let's place this down. Get this thing going, and I placed it wrong because it's too far back here. It's okay, because you know what, I'm just gonna move these. All right, now this is all in here. I wonder actually, can you place blocks of redstone? No, you can't place blocks. You got to put like actual whole ones in there. Okay, that's important. So now we have this. This sucker is going to make 500,000 FE per tick, and we can actually make it produce more. It is currently producing 312,000. So we've already made this thing like almost 6. I guess it's at 300K and going down. So it's like 6 to 7 times faster right now, which is actually crazy than our giant reactor that we have over there. And it's a whole lot less space, like a whole lot less space. Now that we're here, let's take a look. We can make that dry ice. We're going to need this recipe for this, which is just 2 blue ice like this, right? Blue ice is just packed ice all together, and we can actually just grow the ice. All right, we can just pack the ice all like this. To make dry ice, we need 2 blue ice, and that's basically 18 packed ice, which is essentially just another 9. No. Okay, God. Why do I always try and do math? We're gonna need a lot of ice. Okay, just a ton of normal ice. And what's the best way to get a ton of something? You grow it. You grow it in one of these phytogenic insulators. So we're going to need some ice seeds, which means we need 4 ice in general, some inferium. This is a level 1 seed, so it's not anything that crazy, but we're going to go get some ice. We're going to take out our nature's compass here. We're going to look for literally any snow forest. That's the Twilight Forest. We're going to look for anything. Snowy plains, snowy slopes, taiga, it doesn't matter. We're going to see which one's closer All right, we got some snowy slopes, but I don't think it's gonna give me any ice. Let's crank this all the way up that throttle and let's head to that snowy slopes. I made some water buckets just in case, but look, we're right here with some ice. Hello there, sir. Hi. Y'all doing all right? Hey. All right, and now I'm gonna do the ritual of the god. Wait, this is packed ice. We already got packed ice. Hold on a second. We have just enough ice to make normal ice. We just got a bunch of packed ice. Okay, whatever. That's fine. We'll make us an ice seed. Gotta do the summoning and all that. Place that in there. And give me an ice seed. Boop. And then now we can come over here and we can just yoink out the water seeds, because screw water, and put the ice seeds in here. Gonna put the ice essence right here. Make sure it's locked. And that should pull it out. And that will make us some ice for a little while. And now we probably need to make more than one seed. And obviously to get the packed ice or whatever, we need more ice. So we're gonna need 8 pieces of ice essence each. Oh, and that makes 24 ice. Hey, look at that. We got enough. I'm just going to go ahead and make 3 of these ice seeds just to keep it going. And that way we can go ahead and get a bunch of these going all at the same time. And we'll never run out of this packed ice, and that will make the dry ice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this pattern out. I'm going to take this crafter, and we're going to replace the crafter downstairs with this one. That way, if I want to make more recipes or do more things with this, like make the different kinds of things that you can make in the energizing orb, which I think there's like 1 or 2 more, we can do that. And then up here, I'm actually going to go ahead and plop this in here. And then let's go ahead and take that recipe for the pattern that we have, or let's grab a pattern for that ice. Let's go ahead and make a pattern for this, and then stick both of these in the crafter. So that way we know how to make that or can make it. If I just click here, I should be able to hit 1. And then now we have available 8. And that should just make us some more ice, right? And then the same thing, I can actually just step this up here and then learn how to take the packed ice stuff. So another pattern here. I can actually just make packed ice with this recipe. What? Why didn't I just do that instead? Why am I like this? And then now we could just request the packed ice, right? Make as many as we can. Look at how many we got. We're gonna go ahead and take it a step forward and make the blue ice recipe here. Gonna go ahead and replace that. And then put this pattern in here. And now we can take and just make blue ice. So now we're gonna make 1 more pattern. And then this is where we get the dry ice recipe for the thing down there for the energizing orb. Go ahead and make this recipe. Now we have a way to make dry ice. So if we come up here, we can go ahead and craft as many of these as we can, which I think we can make like 20 something. So it actually go ahead and says everything else, so what we're missing. So like the dry ice, even if we just control shift and make 1, this tells us exactly what we need. So we need 2 more blue ice, which I think actually that's why, because I have the blue ice on me. If we go back in here, that was like 40 something. So we should be able to make 10 easy. So go ahead and throw that through and it should craft that out. And we should be able to start seeing some dry ice popping up right here. There we go. If I click the right buttons, Jesus Christ. And what we can do now is we can take one of those dry ices here, go back down here, and we can just take this importer right here and throw in the dry ice. And now it says, okay, now I want to have dry ice in here, and it'll stack it up. And this should increase the power it is generating by a little bit. I don't know how much a little bit is. Maybe it'll hit 500K with this. Maybe. Yo, it's still going up. It stopped at 447,000 FE per tick. That was so easy to make though. Like so easy. I don't think it totally drained like half of my resources, right? This is the power of bees, baby. So this is all set up and it's ready to go. We have not enough redstone apparently stored. There's like no carbon stored, which is kind of weird. Does it need to be some other kind of carbon? It definitely needs to just be coal, but it's not storing the carbon in there at all. I guess because it's full, it's not really that big of a deal, but oh well, maybe that's why. But it stopped at 400. It's 474,000 FE per tick. Like what? We do want to turn on auto mode here so we're not burning through all of our uraninite. So we do want to keep that up and I'm okay with that. And this is still producing, I mean, come on, it's still producing 474,000, which is like, Alfred, you don't even have a need for that. We can upgrade all these cables and make a need for it. But there is a machine that actually needs a ton of power. Even though we have all 500 million FE here stored, we can do 2 things here. Since this thing only stores a certain amount or whatever, and it does push out 2 million FE per tick, we could just use this and have this as our constant storage, right? Or we can get into Mechanism, which Mechanism has these induction cells, essentially, which these these store, this one right here alone stores the basic one stores 3.2. What is G? Gillion? Giant? Fine, I looked it up. The G stands for giga, which is essentially a billion. So this is 3.2 billion FE in the basic induction cell. Now, you do actually have to make like a full-on like induction casing and port and all this other stuff. And these things aren't that cheap. I mean, they're steel, the induction port. You have to make like a full-on multi-block for these, which I mean, we can make these and then have a bunch of power storage. I mean, this is 500 million. This is half a giga FE. That's, and I don't know why they went G. Can we not just make it so like we went 1,000 and million? Then why giga? Why didn't we just go to billion? Is there some? Is this like a different? I'm confused. Why can't we just stick with the billion? This G threw me off. That does it for today's episode of All the Mod 7. We got our nitro reactor going. We got a little bit of auto crafting going as well. And now we're producing so much power. One might ask, how can you even use it all? Well, there's a ton of things that you can actually do to use it all. I will show you guys this. We're going to have to factorize a bunch of, is that even a word? Is factorize even a, we're going to have to make a bunch of factories so we can make the All the Mod star. Basically, that just means a ton of materials, a ton of resources, a ton of everything. And we could theoretically just let the leaves just keep growing and then it just takes some time. But that's going to take too long. So do you know how? You make more. You make more of the things that make more, and then you make more of them, and then you keep going until you have too many, and then you got a star. But that's our plan. Next episode, I'm going to kind of give you guys a taste of what we've been trying to set up for, and you know, have all this power for. Now, I think right now our storage system is okay enough for us to start playing with the RF Tools builder, and the builder is a quarry essentially, and it's fast, like really fast, and it sucks as much power as you can take from it. And then we'll get into industrial foregoing so we can just not destroy the entire mining world. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.